And what is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Cyberspace PC with your host, Scott. And we're talking Sapphire Nitro RX 580 today. And why is the price of used Sapphire Nitro RX 580s 8 gigabytes going up on eBay? So let's get into it. For the longest time, I've wanted to pick up Sapphire Nitro RX 580 8 gigabyte. I prefer those because usually the price isn't that big of a gap, typically speaking. So let's go ahead and head on over to eBay. And we've got Sapphire Nitro RX 580 8 gigabyte put in already at the top. And let's see what we got here. Now, I typically want to go to buy it now and price lowest first, obviously. So let's see what we get into here. And I don't prefer to buy in the auction typically unless I happen to stumble on one that's ending in a few minutes. Not many bidders or no one else is bidding at all on something. I might dip my toe into it, but generally it's just kind of a hassle. You get outbid at the last minute oftentimes, and sometimes you win the bid and you think you're getting a great deal on something or even a decent deal, and the seller kind of backs out because they're not getting the price they want. Then you've just wasted a bunch of time. Anyway, we're not interested in the cooler fans. This is a local pickup from Romania, so if you are in that part of the world, you can get a decent deal there on a pre-owned RX 580 Sapphire Nitro. The cheapest one right now on eBay looks to be this, the standard Nitro edition for $172. It's been on here for a day or two, so not selling like hotcakes at these prices, by the way. And then we get up to around the 180 plus. Here is that's just an advertisement. And we start getting into the $200 plus range, and here's a special edition for $219 from Lithuania. I'm here in the US, so that would probably not be my first choice, just because international shipping is always a question. And then right now with the global health crisis, here's another one from China. You can see the price is going up pretty rapidly. I wouldn't, and I do like the looks of this card. It's obviously, anytime you're dealing with a Nitro card, you're dealing with probably the best version of, or near the best. I would say this is definitely the best version of the 580. That's why it's popular. But would I pay, 170 plus for used Sapphire Nitro? Probably not. And if you're a huge fan of the Nitro cards, and this is the model you want, and you're not getting it for price to performance, by all means, still consider this, that this is the one you have to have. But I would say that there's other 580s that are going to be nearly as performant for probably, $30 to $50 cheaper. You could look at the Gigabyte model. You could look at the XFX, the GT, the GTS, or the black models. Those are, I think, still available for, you can still find them for under $150. I've had people argue with me before and say, oh, the Sapphire Nitro is way faster. I said, I had a XFX GTS that, it's a dual 8-pin card. It would hit 1500 megahertz. Yeah, it would run a little warm at that, but I guarantee the Nitros are going to be, they're going to be, maybe not as warm, but it's going to push the card pretty hard. I wouldn't recommend keeping it on there, but if you're, looking to overclock, hit some milestones, by all means, there's other cards that will get you there besides the Nitro edition. So just keep that in mind. And also, if you're looking at around $180 plus, 170, 180 plus dollars, you're starting to get into an area where, you might be able to pick up a pre-owned 1660. I've seen 1660 Supers for under $200 as well. So you're starting to get into an area where, you might be looking at getting a little bit more performance with a different type of card. So again, this would be if you were wanting to get this card because you're a fan of the card, rather than just getting it for the performance at this point. So let's look on over at Newegg to see if we're still looking at getting these cards made new. I have a suspicion that these cards are not being produced anymore. So that could be why we're looking at prices being quite a bit higher than they were in the past. So let's look and see what kind of Sapphire models. Well, here you go. If you want a new Nitro RX 580, you're looking at just $969. Here's another choice for $237. That's just a Pulse. That's not even a Nitro. So it looks like there's one of two reasons the Nitro RX 580s are, have headed up so much in price. And obviously, all these cards are more expensive than they were, not too long ago. We've got the health crisis, and so there's probably some manufacturing problems going on. But I would probably say that these Sapphire is no longer producing 580s. They moved on to the 5500 XTs and 5600s, 5700s, and this is what happens after manufacturing ceases. You still have some demand for the cards. There's just not a lot of stock. So sometimes third-party vendors start to, raise the prices. Now I know that there's other 580s still being made. Now, whether or not the die itself is still being produced is irrelevant, because if these vendors can still get them from AMD, here we have an XFX Triple X Black Edition for $189, brand new, shipped by Newegg, and it looks like ASRock still making them, as is Azus. If you see shipped by Newegg, this is Newegg selling the card, not another vendor that typically can charge quite a bit more. Like this one's probably not Newegg selling this. Here we have another. Oh, here's the Black Edition. Not sure what the difference is between these two, but probably about the same. Anyway, I've probably gone on too long, but as you can see, looks like the Sapphire version, or the Nitro version of the RX 580 has gone out of production, and that's why on eBay I've noticed, because I do have notifications about that particular card, I just haven't been seeing a price that would be compelling for me to buy. For a while I was seeing them down as low as around $130, $140. A lot of times they weren't probably the best, like the grade A card that you're looking for, but decent. Once in a while you'd see a blue special edition for $150, $160, but those are pretty much gone now. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'll be getting the Nitro RX 580 anytime soon, until maybe some of the new cards start coming out later on this year from AMD, and perhaps people will be willing to part ways with them, and maybe at that point you could get your hands on one of these pretty nice Nitro RX 580s. This is just ridiculous. I'm not even sure who would buy that, but maybe a desperate collector. But yeah, it's just almost looks like a scammy price there to me. So for now, that'll do it. If anybody has better information about what's going on with the Nitro 580s, be sure to leave a comment below, and also consider sharing, subscribing, and like the video. And that'll do it for Cyberspace PC, and we'll catch you in the next video.